eat. Just. Right, so let's get into our warm-up first of all. Now we're all kind of here. Let's start with the feet under the hips, hands by the thighs, and just take a few shoulder rolls first of all. So you're going to feel your shoulders pull up towards your ears, and then you're going to feel your shoulder blades pull right down into the back of your ribs. Gently draw your tummy in, so you're keeping the connection to your core, so the trunk of the body stays still, and then start to roll the elbows up and over the shoulders. Now again, when you're taking the arms back, you're gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're trying to create a stretch across your chest and a connection into the back, as well as keeping the trunk of your body still. Now this time, let the arms just come in line with the shoulders, keep the shoulders down, and then cross the arms, one arm on top, and then one arm underneath. And again, as you're pulling the arms back, you're just squeezing the shoulder blades together. And you're trying to get your hands just behind your shoulder line, and keeping the shoulders pulled down away from the ears at the same time. Bend to a diagonal, making sure you don't hit anybody that's stood next to you. Socially distanced arm swings. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Now really stretch up into the fingertips. Give your bums a little squeeze so it helps keep the hips still. And once more each side. And then let's have a little step with a twist. So starting with your right leg, just a little step forward, turn, and then step back. I'm just going to simply alternate from one side and then over to the other. Now again, when you're turning, you're squeezing the bottom. So you want to make sure your hips stay still, and you're just trying to find that rotation in your spine. Try and turn the head so that rotation comes through your neck at the same time. And again, once more each side. And then let's try our balance. Let's come into tandem stance to your side bends. Right foot in front of your left when you're ready. And you're going to have both knees soft, your tailbone tucked and your belly drawn in. Shoulders are backing down and chin nodded in. Just gently easing from one side, up into the centre, and then over to the opposite side. Our main focus is to mobilise the spine. If you feel you're struggling to get the movement, don't be afraid to just bring your feet back underneath your hips and continue with the movement here. Now you can make your balance a little easier. You can bring your toe to the side of your heel, just so your base is a little bit bigger. Trying to keep both knees nice and relaxed. And then we're going to change over feet. So stop in the middle, bring your left foot in front of your right. Hands can either stay here or up towards your head this time. Shoulder blades drawing down. Now you'll breathe in, elbow towards the hip, and breathing out to rise. You might feel a little wobble through your back leg. That's fine. Keep squeezing through the bottom. Try and make sure all 10 toes are pointing forwards. And then see if you can get your elbow a little higher up towards the ceiling. Then you can stretch further, just pressing the hand up to the ceiling. So your arms directly above the shoulder. And once more on each side. Last one here. And then a little rest in the middle without falling over. Okay, from here, let's come to a wide squat. We're going to do a few wide squats, a few lunges, and then we're going to link them together. Tailbone tucked and your shoulders back. You're just going to breathe in, pull the hips back, and your arms up in line with the shoulders. Now, when we're in a narrow squat, we tend to hinge forward more. When you're in a wide squat, you're trying to keep the back a little bit more upright. As if you're facing someone and you're passing a box to them. Now, if you feel that you're having to tip forward and the back's rounding, just don't go as deep into the legs. You can glance at your knees and check they're tracking out in line with your toes. You're breathing in as you ease down and out on the way back up. Shoulder blades still pulling down to the back of the ribs. And one more time. We're going to take it to lunges next. So from here, we're just going to pivot. From your squat, you're going to turn to your right, tuck under your tailbone, and just lower the back knee for a little lunge. All we need to focus on as you come into your lunges is keeping the front knee over the heel, Feel the movement comes from the back knee, lowering down towards the ground, and then pushing out of your heel on the way up. Again, you're breathing in as you lower down, and breathing out on the way up. Keeping the chin nodded in, and a couple more here. And then we're going to stay on this leg, and we're going to add balance. So go down into your lunge, push out your front heel, and take a little tip forward. Breathing in, and out to tip forwards. Now as you tip forward, your chin is tucked in, eye gaze towards the ground. You can add in the arms whenever you're ready. You're pushing your fingertips forward, and you're reaching your toes back. You're trying not to lock out that standing knee. Don't worry about how high you lift the leg. You can always bring the hands back to the hips. But seeing as your balance is all looking good this morning, let's stay at the top and just a leg lift, down and up. You can use the arms again, just extending them forward, breathing out each time you reach into the fingers, drawing the belly in, standing knees still relaxed. And that way you can keep much more work through the outer thigh and through the hips. Last two again, breathe out strongly. And then stop. Come back to your wide squat position. Roll the shoulders back. Let's go back to squats. So this time you're going to reach the arms up and then press the hands down. Shoulders are back, tailbone tucked. Breathe in, nice big stretch. Shoulder blades pull into the back of the ribs. If it feels difficult, bring the arms all the way up. Feel free to keep them here, just in line with your shoulders. Now gently draw the tummy in. So we're trying to maintain that long spine all the way through. Now when you start feeling your shoulder blades, pull them right down towards your back pockets as you push the head up towards the ceiling. Once more. Stay here. You can just pivot, and then you're ready for your lunge again. Front knee forward over the heel, and only move the back knee. Down and up. So just catching your breath again. As you lower into your lunge, try and maintain a tuck with your tailbone. So you're feeling the stretch down the front of your thigh. You're letting your back knee come down towards the ground. And then you're pushing strongly up through your front heel. You're trying to make sure your weight doesn't slide forwards. It wants to be a direct down and up. So that front knee never changes position. And then you're ready for your balance. So from here, bottom of your lunge, push and lift. In breath and your out breath. Don't lock out your left knee. And again, use the brace for your core as you come forward, because that's going to help to maintain that length in your spine. Then up the arms if you want to. Each time bringing the shoulders all the way back above the hips. So no half lunges here. And that means you've got to work just a little bit harder as you push forwards. And two more. Holding your next one. Hands can come to hips. And just come to that leg lift and lower. Now try and squeeze the front of your thigh so your leg is straight. That's to make sure your glutes work. If your knee's bending, that's the hamstrings doing the work. So you might not lift as high, but keeping the legs straight works different muscles and will stretch your hamstrings too. Once more. And then stop. Step in. I think you might be ready for at least one weight. Here it is. So between small to a medium weight. Right, from here we have our weight on our chest to begin with. We're going to come to squats and then mid stance, so the feet are just hip distance apart. Shoulders one back. Belly wants to draw inwards. And then just a nice simple squat with a pause and then a drive. So we're going to start from the bottom and push up to the top. So we lose the momentum and we start to feel that we push down to the heels and we drive the hips back under the shoulders here. And as you bring your plate down, keep it parallel to the ceiling. Now you might feel your elbows wing outwards. That'll probably mean that your back starts to round. So only come as far down as you can while keeping your elbows underneath the plate. Then we're going to add a heel raise if you want to. So both heels lift, breathe in, out to push. Just checking on your knees at the bottom of your squat. They're slowly retracting in line with your toes. And again, when you squat, make sure it's the hips that move back and then forwards. And you can almost think about stretching your bottom as you push back into the hips. And 2 more. And step down. Now you can just work with your next exercise, just with the arm, or you can have a weight. A little bit tougher for the shoulders, so you can put the weight down at any time if you want to. Your right arm, left arm even, it's a great start. Starts here, in line with your shoulder, and the shoulder is back. Open your right arm to help your balance. You're going to step into a lunge, add a press, and then step back. So your left leg, step forward, elbow in line with your shoulder, press up to the ceiling, and then back into the center. Step, press, chest nice and high. Now breathe in, out to push. Breath in, out to push back. So you get the feeling that every time you use the effort, you use your out breath. Because using your out breath helps to connect into your core better. So don't rush, breathe in, breathe out to push. In through your nose, out through your mouth. So you can step a little longer into your lunge. And again, you're still trying to make sure the shoulders are directly above the hips. 2 more. And then we're going to stay with this arm. You're going to extend the arm up. Step forward into a lunge, lower your back knee. Now your left leg is going to come forward to your elbow. That's it. And then step back. So every time you rise, you're pushing out of your right heel. You're making sure the shoulders stay above the hips as you come in. And again, you can lose the weight if you want to. Keep a nice long back. Stretch a little further. And let's do it once more. Shall we hold at the top? Just like that. Tricep extension, single arm. You can either rest your foot down, you can keep your knee lifted. And since it's Friday, you can extend your leg as you come into your tricep extension. Standing knee nice and soft. Breathing in to lower, out to extend. And again, feel free to bring the feet down. Keep this elbow in. So your elbow's always pointing forwards, not winging out to the side. 2 more. And then you know what's coming on the other side. Bring it down. You might want to release your shoulders. You might want to open the window. Let's bring our weight into our left hand. Elbow, no, it's your right, sorry. It's a glitch with me today, the technology is fine. So pull the shoulder back, have your elbow pointing forwards, and your left arm out this time. Step into your lunge, then press up to the ceiling, and then push back. So your back knee's sinking. And trying to make sure that when you press the weight up, you're not leaning back. You're going to brace your core. Keep bracing as you press the ceiling. And then you can challenge yourself by making the lunge a little bit longer. Or if that feels too much, just stay with a small step. So there's options there for everybody. But the advanced one is just stepping an inch further forward and really powering back out the heel. And 2 more. We're going to come into our second move very soon. So this time, as you step back, you're going to extend the arm up to the ceiling and step your left leg forward. Come down into your lunge. Your right knee lifts. Pull your knee to your elbow. Breathe in, step back. So it's arm extending at the bottom, elbow to knee at the top. And again, you're breathing in and out on the rise. Try and bring your thigh parallel to the floor. Shin parallel to the side wall. And again, if that's too much, just tap your foot down. And you step a little bit further back to get more stretch and more load in your legs. Ready for your next one? You're going to hold it at the top. And then your tricep extension. Try and keep the elbow in. Standing knee soft. And then again, you can extend the leg. Try and keep the pelvis level so you're not tipped to the side. You might need to bring your leg a little lower. And keep squeezing the thigh so it creates a stretch down the back of the hamstring at the same time. And 2 to finish here. Last one. And then you can step in. You can release both your shoulders. Grab your second weight when you're ready. And let's keep both feet firmly on the ground for our next block. Okay, so from here we're going into a bent over row. Your weights are just by your thighs. We've got to tuck under with your bottom so your back's nice and long. Hips first, sit back. Elbows by the ribs, and then push it through the heels. Now your chin's nodded in. And just check when you come forward, your knees don't come forward. As if you're going to sit back. Now if you keep your head forward, your neck ends up in this position. So try and keep your chin tucked in. So your eye gaze is about 2 foot in front of your feet while you're here. And you're squeezing your elbows to the back of the room. And we're going to go with another 4. And every time you row, also feel that your chest opens. So get a nice stretch through the chest at the same time. Nice, the wrong word? You can use the word nice far too much. Last one, you're going to stay here with the elbows high, just coming into your kickbacks now. So the upper part of the arm is still. Tailbones gently tucked under. Weights in both heels. And the effort is the push back. And we breathe out with the effort. Chest is nice and open. And again, your last 4. We're going to do something similar to this one, come down on the ground, so the triceps aren't finished just yet. And when you finish that last one, rise up into the centre. Again, you might want to give your legs a shake. We're going to come to bicep curls, nice and simple, with a heel raise, so the shoulders are back. You're going to lift both heels, turn your weights to your shoulders, and then gently down with the heels. Every time you rise, you want to feel the head pulls up towards the ceiling. Your chin is nodded in, so you're looking forwards. And try and pull the heels right up off the ground. And lower with control, so you're easing your heels back down. You're breathing out through the mouth and in through your nose. Okay, at the top we're going to hold. Bring the weights down, keep the heels up. And then you're going to alternate your bicep curls. Stay with the heel raise if you can. Relax in both knees. Slow it down. Twist your weight to the shoulder. Elbows are super glued in by your ribs. Try not to let the ankles roll outwards. And again, a couple more on each side. And then with your last one, you can bring everything back down. Give your legs a shake. And I think we'll do some lying down work. Not this going to be much easier, as you know. So coming onto your mat, we're going to come onto an all fours position first of all. Let me check you can see clearly down there. Right, I think I'll have to move the dog, I think. Right, have a quick look first. We're going to come into this box position. If you really struggle on your knees, you can come here, or you can do this standing again. Now, the elbow is up by the rib. All we're going to do is a tricep kick back, and then we're going to add the opposite leg as well. So get a little bit more core connection. That's the plan anyway. So your shoulders first, pull back, eye gaze to ground, and draw the belly towards the spine. Pull your elbow so it just sits by your rib, and you're going to keep the upper arm still. Squeezing a straight arm, so your knuckles point to the back. Breathing out with each extension. And just trying to come back to 90 degrees. So there's no momentum. You're squeezing to extend, and you're bringing it back in slowly. Your weight's forward into your left hand. And then we're going to add the leg. So your left leg slides back and lifts, hover the knee, and extend again. Try and keep your ears up in line with your shoulders so your head hasn't dropped. That's going to give a little bit of work through the upper back, the muscles that help to support our neck. And use the out breath. 3, 2, and 1 to finish. Hold here, knee down, thread your way under, and then pull it back. So you're just looking for a nice rotation. Again, there's that nice word. It's a nice Friday. Push your weight towards the back of the room. Imagine you have a tray of drinks balanced on your bottom, so your bottom stays nice and still. You're getting lots of movement through the spine. Really good exercise for your tennis players, and golf players, and squash players, and rest. Just sit back on your heels, give your wrists a little release. And just remember, if you struggle having your wrist in this position, you can always put a little towel underneath your hands so it doesn't have that flexion as acute here. Change sides, shoulders over your wrists, belly drawn up to the back and chin tucked in. Elbow comes up high, face this way. Elbow high, belly braced. Now you might feel your weight shifted back. Bring it forward, keep your eye gaze forward with your fingers. So you feel that you're pushing now your right hand into the ground. When you extend the arm, try not to twist with the shoulders. Again, it's that trunk stability. Everything's still, apart from your elbow and below. Use the out breath for the effort. Out through your mouth. And let's add in the leg. Left leg. Right leg, sorry, sliding back. You can try on your right leg. You might left leg, but you might wobble. I'm wobbling without my other leg. Brace on the push. Keep the weight forward, so see if you can just shift your body weight an inch further forward and really straighten that leg to the back. 4 more. So we start feel it in our obliques, in our waist muscles at the same time. And then we bring the knee down, the arm threads under, pull back and open. So again, you're looking for rotation in the neck as well as the spine. So let your head go all the way around. Keep pushing your supporting hand into the ground, especially when you lift. Now draw the shoulder blade back. It gives you a nice stretch across the front of the shoulder. And once more. That nice stretch is over. Put your weight down and then come all the way down onto the ground and let your head rest. Now from here, you can bring your hands back by your thighs, a little bit of extension for our spine. Chin nodded in, tailbone pulling towards your heels, And we're going to lift the chest and then slide your fingertips down to the ankles. Turn your palms, and then you're going to release. Let me tilt my corner a little to give you a better picture. There we go. So nice and long, tailbone drawing to heels. You're going to lift the chest, open the shoulders, push your fingertips towards your ankles, and turn your palms up and release. Now again, think about your neck. If you try and look forward, your neck's completely out of alignment with your spine. So once you know the exercise, try and keep your eye gaze down to the floor. Now use your belly muscles. You're going to draw your belly button up towards your back. And you're going to be aware that when you lift, that you're not forcing your belly back into the ground. Imagine you've got a little egg safely placed underneath your belly button. And then when you lift, you're trying not to crush your little egg. Or a big egg. Feel the shoulder blades just slightly pull down towards the back pockets. Now if you can at the top, hold, and just do 8 pulses back. 8, 7. Draw the tailbone to the heels at the same time. And again, it's not a very big lift. Keep the eye gaze to the ground the whole time. No squashed eggs. And then rest and bring it all back down. Bring your hands by your ribs. Give yourself a little push up. Pull right back to your heels and try and sit your hips back on your heels. Now you can take your knees a little wider to help get your hips further back. And you don't want to be in a ski slope position. So we want to try and stretch the spine so it's really tucking under with the bottom and getting that nice curve, especially into the lower back. Now once you're here, walk your hands forward, straighten out the arms and grip the ground. Now pull your hips right back to the heels again. Nice big breath in. And then breathe out when you've had enough. Side line. When you're ready, take a roll onto your side. And from here, as we come into our sideline position, our knees are pointing forwards. We're going to work with our hands. This hand, have your palm pointing up to the ceiling. Because sometimes we just tend to hold on. We want to use our core muscles to hold on. Now your ear is resting on your shoulder. So again, your neck and your spine is aligned. You will feel that your hip naturally collapses upwards towards your rib. So give your hip a little push away from your rib and draw the belly button to the back. Keep your feet together and take a breath in. With the out breath, your knees open, and with the in breath, they close. You're trying to keep your hip bones stacked on top of each other and facing forwards. Now you might feel that when you open the knee, the hips roll back. So we need to keep that connection in our core to keep our pelvis still. Because once you've got the pelvis nice and still, then we use the muscles through the outer thigh and the hip to do the lifting. If your hips roll back, you're initiating a movement from your lower back. So even if you don't go quite as high, think about stabilizing your pelvis and working through your outer thigh with a little lift of the knee. Right, a little bit of endurance into these muscles now. You're going to hold at the top. You're going to squeeze out into a straight leg. You're going to bring your feet back together and then close your knees. You're going to use the out breath to open and keep breathing out to extend. Out through the mouth. And then in through your nose. You've got that gentle scoop under the tailbone the whole way through. And think about your ribs. You might feel that when you extend your legs, your ribs flare. Everything from your hips and above should stay nice and still. So that constant engagement through your tummy muscles. I'm going to start feeling a little bit of heat through the outer eye. And then from here, you're going to hold at the top. And you're going to work with just the leg extensions. Out and tap. Breathing out to extend and a breath in to lower. So your butt just lightly taps back. You're still aware that your ribs are connected down towards the hips. And a nice strong brace every time you push forward. Okay, let's do 2 more here. Just that leg extension. And then keep your knees bent. Knee touches your knee. And then toe touches your toe. So knee to knee, toe to toe. Again, you're trying to keep the pelvis still. So you might feel it's only a really small movement. You're drawing the tummy in. And then you can increase that range of movement as you feel your hips get a little bit looser or the muscles just get a little bit stronger. Whichever one works. Do a couple more here. And then you're going to stretch it out. But it's not going to be a nice stretch out. You're going to extend your leg out in line with your shoulder, pull the hip away, bring your knee forward, and then push back. Now, as you bring the knee in, you're trying to make sure the hip doesn't move towards the rib. So think about the space you hold between your rib and your hip. Draw the tummy in so you're locking that position through your upper body. So the only movement is your hip joint and your knee joint. And as you bring the knee forward, it's a little stretch into the bottom, and then a big squeeze at the bottom as you extend your leg outwards. 1 more. And rest. I was going to be not nice and do the arches, but I think the bottom might need a rest. Mine included. Have a roll onto your other side when you're ready. Slowly, so the hips will allow. And then we come back into our clam position. I do have a tendency to prop my head up just so I can normally see everybody suffering. But I've no excuse now. I'm going to have my head down, so my neck and my spine is in line. My top shoulder is drawing back, and then a scoop under with the tailbone. Again, naturally, the hip will collapse. So you see how my t-shirt's wrinkly? Try and push your hip away and try and get rid of the wrinkles out of your t-shirt. And keep the wrinkles out of your t-shirt as you lift your knee. Draw the ribs softly down to the hips, but don't feel that you're rounding your shoulders forward. You're trying to keep the shoulders open. You're trying to keep your tailbone ever so slightly tucked under. So you can either imagine that your bottom is up against the wall and there's no room for the hips to roll back, or you've got a glass of water balanced here on your hip and it's full to the brim and you're trying to move your knee and not spill a drop of water. Let's add on the leg extension. Keep the hips still, squeeze the leg out to the diagonal, and then bring the knees together. Now, just looking to show you from a different angle, when you extend the leg out, don't push it away from you. You want to keep those thighs parallel, so when you extend your leg, your thighs are still parallel, and you almost maintain that clam position. So when you look down at your knees, they're always above and below each other. Your legs not come here, slant there in that diagonal position. Trying to be aware the shoulders not start to tense, so it's nice and relaxed. No wrinkly t-shirts, so your hips still pushing away from your rib. And you should feel as you're pushing that top hip away, ever so slightly lifts this bottom rib just off the ground, ever so slightly. And you're trying to feel that when you move your leg, you're not pushing the rib cage down into the floor. And then you come to that endurance bit, holding here, extending and tapping, breathing out and breathing in. So the breath is out through the mouth, in through your nose. As you breathe out, you're drawing the tummy muscles in, nice strong core connection, squeezing right through the front of your thigh, but not flinging your leg forward. It's a controlled squeeze. And you'll start to realise that controlled movement hurts so much more than momentum and flinging. It's a fling-free Friday. And from here, you're going to bring your knees together, knee to knee, toe to toe. So you're trying to keep the hips again nice and still. And again, it might be just a small movement. And again, you're just trying to create movement around the hip joints. You're trying to keep your tailbone tucked under. So when your toes come together, you really have to feel the squeeze to create that movement comes from here. And you should still feel a little bit of activation in that underneath leg too. Breathe out, 2 more. And once more. Hold the leg, extend it. This is your stretch. Bring the knee forward. Push and point. Now again, don't let your hip collapse. Move slowly and see how still you can keep your upper body. If you look at my upper body, you shouldn't be able to tell that I'm moving my leg. If the ribs start to collapse, you'll see the movement comes through the upper body. So stability, length from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. Movement through the hip. Push your way into your toes. Grimace as much as you need to, or have a rest. Last 2. Great for the hips. I know you don't feel it now. You probably won't feel it tomorrow, but the day after it should feel a whole lot better. Roll onto your back when you're ready, and you might want to take a little release through those muscles. So as you lie onto your back, you want your shoulders relaxed. Bring the chin in, so the neck's nice and long, and just bring your right foot up onto your left thigh. Now, when you're here again, you may feel that your hips twist to bring the knee in. So if that's happening, take this leg further away and just try and bring that foot onto the thigh without changing the position of your hips. So again, we've got equal space between our ribs and hips on either side. You can then just simply push the knee forward, almost anchor your left hip to the ground. You can take your hands behind your left thigh, clasp the hands behind the thigh, and hug the knee in. Again, you don't want to feel that your spine has to twist to come into this position. Really long. Chin nodded in. Deepen your stretch. You can place the hand on the bent knee, on your right knee, and gently press it forwards without twisting into your spine. And then when you've had enough there, you can just gently bring it back down. So your left foot this time, I'll show you from a different angle. So your left foot comes onto your right thigh. You've made a figure 4. Your hip bones are level, and you're going to anchor your right buttock to the ground. Then you can place your hand on your left knee and gently push it forwards. Alternatively, to get deeper into the stretch, hands come behind your right thigh. Then the knee gently hugs in. You're breathing and lengthening all the way up through the back. And then with your out breath, you can take the stretch deeper. Not to a point of pain. This is a nice bit. It's like a nice yawn going through your hip. And again, don't overstretch because your body won't want to go any further. Just feel a mild stretch. Then when it eases, feel free to take it further. And when you've had enough, bring both feet down to the floor and extend your left leg out straight. Bring your arms wide and let your shoulders just melt. So you're going to lift your right knee so it's at 90 degrees. And you're going to simply roll your knee across your body. And you're going to try and keep your right shoulder anchored to the floor. You can place your left hand on the top of your right knee. Doing so well with my left and right today. And gently let the knee just sink toward the ground. Now you can turn your head and look down your right arm. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Take a nice big breath in. And use the out breath to relax your lower back and maybe let the knee go a little further while keeping your right shoulder down. And then whenever you've had enough, just simply bring it back into the middle. Take your right leg out straight. Bring your left knee in, knee at 90. Shoulders pressed down. Your right hand across your body to the outside of your knee. Gently starting to bring the knee across. Anchoring your left shoulder. And then if you want to, you can turn your head and look down your left arm. Pull the shoulder blades down away from the ears. Now take a really big deep breath in. As you breathe out, try and relax your lower back. See if that allows the leg to go a little further. Not forcing it, just allowing the weight of the leg to deepen your stretch. See, there is a nice bit somewhere. When you've finished, bring it into the middle. Hook your knees in. And now let your knees come a little bit wider and gently press them down towards your chest. So you want to feel this gently coming through your lower back, chin nodded in. And when you're ready, your knees are going to come into the middle, ease them up a little, and then take a slow roll up into seated. Bring your feet forward. Now your feet want to be hip distance apart. Place your hands on your sit bones, just to the knobbly bits at the bottom. Pull the sit bone back, and then the other one. So that first of all puts your pelvis in a neutral position. Your toes point up to the ceiling, and if you need less, you can allow your knees to bend. Now, you're going to work on keeping a straight back and gently encourage the knees down. That might give you enough of a stretch. If you want to stretch further, keep your chest up and just simply walk the hands forward, but pull the shoulder blades back and down. So you're always holding lots of space between your ears and your shoulders. Now just draw your right toe back and then release. And then pull your left foot back and release. Once more on each side. And then take a nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, bend your elbows and bring your forearms down towards your thighs. So lift the chest. Breathe in. As you breathe out, draw your right foot back and point. Left foot and release. So you're just getting that deeper stretch coming into your calves. And once more. And then when you're ready, tuck in your chin and roll back in to seated. Let's work our way up. So you're going to take your feet behind, come into a box position. You're going to bring the hands underneath your shoulders. And you're going to lengthen first of all. So as you breathe in, feel like you're creating space between each vertebrae. And then draw the belly up and tuck the bottom under. And try and get a nice deep stretch in that lower back area. Now, a lot of us tend to be more flexible through the upper back. So a lot of our bending comes through the upper back, and I know I tend to do that. So it's sometimes trying to keep the upper back still and just tucking under with the tailbone. Now I've got my tailbone fully tucked and I've got a really deep stretch here, and I've not allowed it to come up here, because that's the part that we tend to flex through anyway. Again, working the lower back, tucking, breathing in, and breathing out, trying to tuck a little bit deeper. And then just release when you're ready. Toes come under, hands walk back, roll onto your heels, and then lift the hips up. Let the head hang down towards the ground, and draw your belly up towards your spine. Then bring the chin in, so you're looking towards your thighs. And then take a nice big breath in, and in your own time, with your out breath, you're going to gently reset through each vertebrae. Bring one vertebrae up, then the next. And as you roll again through the upper back, you're keeping the chin tucked in, and then the shoulders roll back and down, the head lifts. And then from here, you're going to breathe in, take a nice big reach up to the ceiling, and then just simply breathe out and pull the shoulder blades down. Once more, big breath in, you lift the arms. Let's put my head back on for you. And then again, feel the shoulders pulling into the ribs. Take a little lift of the shoulders. And shape of your ears. And let your shoulders go. So let your ears go. And let it all go. And pick up your hands. Give yourself a clap. Well worked, everybody.